Now, the first thing that you do after you are done placing the pads for a particular component is to create a box, that box which will appear on your board as a silk screen, which is nothing but those white numberings that you see on the PCB, or there are boxes which denote where the component is sitting. Those kinds of things are called silk screen. Later on in the video where we discuss about the various terminologies when it comes to PCB design, there I'll show you what a silk screen is using an example. But what you need to do when you create the component is you go to add and add a line, or you can also, since this is a rectangular component, you can go and add a rectangle, or maybe not, let's just use the line. That gives you a little bit more flexibility, and I'll show you why I chose that. So you go to add line, and then you select package geometry, since this is a package, and then from the list of available things you choose the silk screen top. And what you do is the lines are fine, but the line width needs to be at least some non-zero value. I'm choosing 1. And then what I would do is I'd create a box around this so that I know that it's a rectangular component, and I'll edit the box in a way so that pin 1 location is indicated a little bit differently. So again, I'll use the X command to do that. And since I know that the extents of this particular pins are already minus 3.81 and on the X direction, and then 10.16 in the Y direction, the box should encompass all those. So I'm going to choose a little bit bigger box for that. So I'll choose, let's say 3. So I'll choose 6 on the X side, and then what I'll choose is I'll choose 12 on the Y side. So that is how I'll do this. I'll start at 6, 12, and then I'll go down. So that would be 6 minus 12, then it would be minus 6 minus 12. Then now here comes the important thing. I have to indicate that pin 1 is a little bit different, so I'll do that by changing the silk screen a little bit. So this is how I'll do it. I'll do minus 6, but then I'll not go to 12 itself, I'll go to 10. And then again I'll do X, and I'll go to minus 4 and do a 12, and then I'll go from X minus 4 to, or rather X minus 4, and from here I'll go to X6 and X12. No, that's the last point, right? So that will close the box. So there it is. Done. That is your silk screen, and this will appear on your board as whatever the color which your manufacturer provides as the silk screen color. Then what I'll do, I'll say is this, this is done. Then I'll add another line. This time it has got to be the place bound top. Now what place bound indicates is it is a box which is going to exist theoretically. You are going to see it only during design in the software, but it's not going to appear on the board finally. What place bound box does is that during your design, if you place any component very close to another component accidentally, when you finally validate your design, the software is going to indicate that you have placed it very close. So the extent which is considered as close for a particular component is indicated by a boundary, which is called the place bound. We basically, place bound means, translated into language that we can understand, it's the bound within which another component cannot be placed. So we will do the same as we did for the silk screen, and it can overlap. That's not a problem at all. So we will begin at 6, 12. Then again we will go down to 6 minus 12. Then come to the left, minus 6 minus 12. Go up X minus 6 and 10. And then go X minus 4, 12. And then go X6 and 12. So there's your place bound within which there would not be another component that is placed, and then I'll do a done. And then we have to put reference designators at minimum. Those would be under layout, labels, reference designator. the first thing that you would designate is silkscreen top. Do confirm that your marker size is something which is non-zero, and then come close to where pin 1 is and then click there. You would see a cursor. Then just type out, since this is an IC, I'll do a U question mark. Now whatever name you give, remember to put a question mark in the end. That question mark gets replaced by the component number on your board. So if you have 3 components, the question mark would be updated by U1, U2, U3 when finally the board is designed. Now this is those little designators which you see on a PCB board, the numbers of the particular components. So that is this one, and this is the one that you would be able to see. So that is the silkscreen. But you would also have to put another one, which is the assembly top, so that the manufacturers know what you are doing, and that can also be placed near about the same value and should be equal to what you had written earlier. So U question mark. So with that you can save the part, and as you can see it says that CEEN 43308284a.psm has been created. So that is creating a part. So you can apply the things that you saw in this particular video to create all other parts as is required.